Up, guys? Good morning. It is early, early. Let's take a look at this. I'm watching these storms that are out there. There we go. This is looking out towards Van Buren. You can see some of these showers and storms that are coming into Fort Smith. This is a severe thunderstorm, and I was watching this thing, and I thought, man, this has got a lot of wind in it. It's also moving right through the greater Fort Smith area. I saw this lowering though in the cloud, and I thought, well, that's interesting. And you've got a little bit of a bend in it, so I thought it'd warrant a little extra attention here as it moves through. That's the westbound camera there at I-40 at the way station. You can kind of see how this thing is starting to make its way on in. A lot of low clouds out there. But what does it look like as far as radar goes? Well, here it is. The front is weak overall. That's moving through the storm, though, not so much. This thing's fairly strong, isn't it? Let's see if we can find any rotation in this thing. This is going to be not rotating, but the wind speeds are just really intense here on the west side of Fort Smith, making their way in across looks like the west side, almost near downtown Fort Smith. So that's what it's going to be here. Let me go back over to the let's change camera sources here and see if we can see what it's doing here on the closer to the way station. That was the way station looking eastbound. Let's look into Fort Smith. I'm curious what Old Greenwood Road looks like, or even Rogers Avenue with some of those winds. Let's see here. Here's Rogers. Let's see what this thing looks like. Pull this up for you. So again, that's looking, I believe we're looking to the north there. You can see the showers that are, not showers, but you can see the lightning flashes that are out there in the background. So, and the rain that's coming in too, but nothing really showed the shot better than what we were looking at just a moment ago there west of the interstate. Man, that lightning is really coming down. I think Analyst is going to do a better job with this. Let's go to Analyst here. All right, there it is. So if we look at this report of 1 inch hail, a little over 1 inch, it's bigger than quarter size here in just north of Roland. See these wind speeds. And the winds are really cranking out here. You've got winds 50, 60 miles an hour coming into downtown Fort Smith, maybe the west side of town near Arcoma, just north up towards Pacola. Very, very strong winds with this. Here's an animation of it. You can see how the bright yellow, by the way, is where the damaging winds would be. And those are generally tracking right towards the west side of Fort Smith, I would say, more so than anything else. See if we can get a camera there on the west side, the iDrive camera that's out that way. There it is. So that's looking west. There's Arcoma there. So these winds are about to slide into Arcoma from the west northwest. Strong wind speeds though with this thing. Really, that's why they issued the warning was for the winds in the storm. The atmosphere overall really doesn't favor that much in the way of severe weather, but it is May, and whenever it's May, you get problems. So this is just the time of year when storms tend to go bananas. There's a live look. It's going to be I-40. It's the iDrive camera here. It looks like some of that wind starting to come in. Just looking at the trees there on the side of the road, you can see the rain curtains are really starting to blow in some of that, or the rain beads there on the lens as the wind makes its way in. Big strong storm with this. Back over the radar again, you can see the wind speeds. Strongest over the bottoms right now. That's West Fort Smith. Um, Showing the strongest wind southwest, actually right over Moffett. If you're in Moffett, you're really getting that wind that's coming in right now. Very strong winds. It's moving over the west side of Fort Smith. Take this shot here. This is going to be 0 Street, exit 11. Let's see. Right there we go. You can see the rain curtains there on the ground as that heavy rain starts to make its way in. So that's looking north. So we're actually looking towards where this front is coming from, or where the storm is coming from. I'm going to zoom out here. I want to give you another look at radar. If you guys are just waking up, like me, because the kids woke up, it is 2 in the morning on May 3rd, and we've got showers and storms that are moving in, and a very strong storm that happens to be moving right across Fort Smith right now. This is a severe thunderstorm capable of producing some very strong wind gusts and hail up to about quarter size or so. It's had some interesting radar signatures on it. I don't see anything that's deeply rotating on the storm. That's one of the things that caught my eye was that leading edge. So I was looking for something to develop right around here because I think this is where some of those stronger wind speeds would be located on the central and north side of the fort. And really, this is out towards the Marshals Museum, getting closer to downtown where some of the heavier part of the storm is located. It's really loud too, man. There's a lot of lightning with this stuff. Let me zoom back out here for you. and that's looking at the storm that's moving into Fort Smith, showing some of the strongest coming into Van Buren up there around Cloverleaf near the 64 interchange. See if I can show you what that looks like here in just a second, too. You can see the shelf cloud that's moving in with this thing. The shelf cloud is the cool air that's pushing out of the front. So there it is. These lowerings are important to watch this time of year, especially May. Whenever it's May, things go crazy with weather. It doesn't take very long at all for storms to really get cranked up and get going. Back over to radar here and watching this come on through. Looks like the new one. Is that a what have they got here? Yeah, it's a new severe thunderstorm warning. Let me back out of this and see if I can get this one for you. So this new severe thunderstorm warning is going to go farther to the east. They're going to go ahead and warn this thing all the way across, mainly because of these damaging winds. So it now includes the rest of Sebastian and it's like in Franklin County too. Let me check the warning bulletin on this. Yeah, they've got Franklin, Crawford, Sebastian until 2:45 this morning. So that's the box. I wonder how right here. Let's look at it on this one. I'm doing this on the fly, y'all. Sorry. Had weak front on there because it is a weak front, but well, we got a strong storm, so they don't match up anymore. All right, let me look at this. I'm gonna go in, push in on this into Fort Smith. And look at these stronger wind speeds here. So this is along Riverfront Drive. Blue pixels are where the strongest part of the storm is. Again, severe thunderstorm warning on this one. Um, there's some other places that are being affected here. Okay. North 23rd Street. This is over by Spradling. North 6th Street. Watching it on Albert Pike as it comes into the north. Um, let's see. North 50th. Those strong winds coming down. Albert Pike. Looks like right now, so the stronger wind core is actually on the north side of Fort Smith, just northeast of Garrison Avenue. There's some stronger winds near Arcoma. Back to analyst. So there it is. It's just rolling through. Boy, those winds really punched out when it came into the west side of Fort Smith, though. Probably got a few power outages out of that thing. And it's really coming down in Lee Creek right now. This is out towards exit 3. That's again looking at that lowering in the base. A lot of times you can see power flashes too if power tends to go out. That's one of the useful things. Brief that lightning. You see that thing? You hear that? Man, oh man. It's a vivid light show out there. It's another look at it. Very heavy wind and rain with this. No tornado warnings or anything like that at this point in time. You can see this. You can see it moving into Cloverleaf area here near Van Buren. So there it is. Let's get a tight shot of that. There you go. So, that's the exit there. If you're headed west towards Oklahoma from Alma, Van Buren, you take that right exit there, kind of loops around, goes back over the bridge, and then you head into Fort Smith on 540. That's looking westbound there at the storm that's coming in. This is just a little bit to the east northeast of where Cloverleaf is. Gnarly looking lowerings though, huh? Let's check for rotation on this thing again. And let's see what we've got here. No, man, we've got some strong winds though. Same place that we were talking about a second ago. Where are these going to cross in Fort Smith? I believe this is going to be. Let's see here. Are they going to come? They're going to come across Kelly Highway. It's on the west side of Kelly Highway now, over by Division Street, North S. It's over there by Midland Bowl. Looks like it's coming up on 540 right now. Why don't we see if we can find a camera there near the Kelly exit? See what it looks like here. I'll pull the Kelly exit up. Ooh, man. Yeah, you think? It's a bit windy right now. That's a live look at Kelly Highway here. Coming up on Grand Avenue. The wind is just coming down. Winds probably gusting to about 60 or 70. The lightning just prolific with this thing, isn't it? I mean, it's just nonstop. Once this moves through, though, we're going to be in the clear. So it's just a one and done type thing now. But of course, it's May. And you know how it goes when it's May. It usually doesn't matter. Something's always going to happen again. So the next week actually looks fairly active too. Several chances to pick up some storms um, from all these systems that are lined up one after another. Back over to radar. The pocket of wind now is pretty much right on Kelly Highway in North O. I think that's why that camera shot was so great at Kelly Highway. Bet we can see it too if we look at it from the other camera that's on Grand Avenue. Let's take a look and see. Yeah, look at those sheets of rain there at the bottom. Good grief, man. This wind is just really going. Real strong winds here coming into Grand Avenue. Curious what kind of wind speeds we're actually seeing down towards the surface. I'd estimate at least 60 with this stuff, especially here near exit 5. It's hard to drive into. You get all this rainfall. It's just torrential rain that comes down this time of year. What I was going to do is also look up, I'll go back, take you back to radar real quick, see what some of the wind speeds are measuring out at the airport. Oh, it looks like it's actually come down in the last scan. Watch this as it moved in. Look at that bright yellows. That is the pulse up and the flare up of this storm that made it so strong. Um, Trying to get him look at the winds here in Fort Smith. Last report was at 153, so it was before the storm, and it was south at 3. That's a little stronger than 3 miles an hour, just a little bit on that. Um, let's go back to radar here. It looks like it's dumping out a lot of the wind as it moves through. Notice the intensity still stayed the same. I'm going to click on a couple different things real quick. Had some hail just north of town earlier. Dumped all that hail out. Looks like despite what you hear out the window, which is probably sounds really fierce. It actually showing some weakening on this. You can see it here with the wind speeds as the colors start to diminish. I mean, there's still some very strong winds, but it's just not as strong as it was just a little bit ago. Back over to another radar source here, and I'm going to zoom out. Still some strong winds though over Fort Smith. That warning goes till 8 for another 8 minutes. Here's a look at that storm as it made its way in. So I have to get rid of that. The dark blue colors. There you go. See it as it moved through, man. That had a lot of wind on it, and it just moved through so quickly. Here's another look at it again, tracking those wind speeds. That's coming in west to east, and then the dark blue colors show you the wind. It also shows you here what it looks like as it came through. Let's get this pulled back up. Had a good measurement out at the airport when this thing moved through as far as winds go. It's still coming down, man. The lightning's just almost nonstop here on some of these cameras. Leading edge is out there towards Van Buren now. Let's see what that looks like. This is going to be looking westbound on I-40 west of Alma. There's a shelf cloud that's out there. Thunder, lightning, all the rest. Looks like it gusted at the airport. 32 miles an hour. That was at 203. That was the last measurement that I've got that came in. It was 32. So perhaps not didn't get sampled as good at the airport with some of these stronger wind speeds. Back to radar now. Storms are coming into Van Buren, north side of northwest part of Van Buren, just on Marina Road, up by Lee Creek. Looks like the worst is over with over the west side of Fort Smith and Arcoma. Really starting to ramp up though for downtown Van Buren, and then getting in towards Alma and Kibler as it's going to continue to trend and track eastward. Just a heck of a light show with this stuff that's moving in. I was going to see if I could find you another camera. Here you go. This is going to be near the 59 exit. Look at these trees. It's looking eastbound. So we're looking at the storm moving in, and it's actually a really good shot just because of where we're located here. Let me show you. I'll go back over to analyst. So we're looking at it right here, right in the middle of the screen. and we're looking in the looking towards the east. But you can really see what's happening with these winds as it starts to move in. Take a look at some other wind speeds here. Man, that lightning, it's just wild, isn't it? The winds in this particular area on the radar aren't even really that strong. Just kind of nuts, right? Considering. Here it is again. Tough to see. They got the emergency flashers on, don't they? There's the dark green colors again, making their way into the Fort Smith, mm, East Fort Smith, Van Buren, Dora, Kibler, Alma area. You're gonna see these dark blue colors come in. I just want to loop this. There's the wind. See it come in, and then the blue falls off. Now we just got some green. So we're actually seeing a little bit of a decreasing trend, even though it probably doesn't sound like it at all outside. Um, it's really coming down. The rain is just wild with this stuff. Again, look at that lightning too. That's looking east in Van Buren towards exit 5. So this is essentially right where we were looking a moment ago. This is out near Alma Highway, uh, Alma Boulevard, North 24th Street, North Rudy Road over there by Pointer Trail, exit 7, um, North Fayetteville Road running north south up 59, North 16th, Oliver Springs Way, Maple Street. The leading edge is coming up on the east side where Pointer Trail kind of dumps into 282. Can't hardly see though, man. The water's just got it's a waterlogged atmosphere with this thing, and just a incredible amount of lightning. There it is coming in. Boy, you can see that wind now, can't you? But you can hear it outside the window too. This is the leading edge. Woo! Big old flash. Boy, those things are taking a beating, aren't they? This is probably the strongest winds that you're going to see. Again, this is looking eastbound in Van Buren, right along the interstate there. Cloud to ground lightning is just something else. The wind is looks like it's hitting now, and this is what it looks like on radar. I'm going to change this to about the last 7 frames here so you can kind of get a look. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit here. So back to that Highway 59 exit 5 cam. Whoops. Zoom in on radar here too. So that's coming down the interstate. So what we may do is see if we can see it from that way station. Actually, let me go different radar. Historic district in Van Buren really getting it too right now. I'm looking at exit 7. You really can't see much of anything. It's coming down so hard. This one will be good though. It's the way station. I think the front hasn't made it here yet, or the leading edge of the storm. Maybe we can see the wall or the shelf cloud behind the lightning flashes. Actually, the shelf cloud looks like it's probably right overhead, doesn't it? Last frame looked like it was just kind of above that R dot sign. Yeah, I can't really see anything there because it's coming into this area, so you can't see it just yet. I wonder if we can get it farther to the west. That's looking east in Alma. We need something that's looking east. We need something looking westbound here. There's one. So this is going to be exit 13. This is quite a ways down the road. This is coming up towards the Alma exit. That's looking west. So if you're headed towards Oklahoma from Little Rock, exit to Alma there is going to be straight ahead. School buses are over there on the left side of the screen. And then you can see there's that lowering. That's the shelf cloud that's pushing out. Look a little nasty this time of year just because they have such low hanging clouds with them. What am I on analyst here? Let's go back to this. Also got some storms out there over the south part of Fort Smith too, over Greenwood. Heaviest though still appears to be happening right over Van Buren, kind of on the river bridge too. It looks like. Right over the Arkansas River. Let's see what that looks like. There's a river there somewhere. That's looking north, so you're looking into the storm. Man, it's coming down. Can't really see anything with that. But the winds, what are they doing? Well, we've still got gusty winds. This is right over that shot that we just saw a second ago, right in here. Thankfully, this is getting out towards the bottoms. 64 interchange cam. Holy cow. Well, that's fun. You see anything? I mean, it is the rain is just so heavy. We can't even make out anything between these lightning flashes. This is Highway 64 and 540. My goodness. Zoom back out. If you guys just waking up thinking, what's going on? Why is Garrett on at 2 in the morning in short sleeves and he has to go to work in a couple hours? Well, we've got a severe storm that's out there. It's not going to be, it's not an all night type event for us. This thing's actually going to start winding down here heading into next several hours. It's not going to be nearly as intense as what we're seeing now, but intense it is. And that lightning is just all over the place. That's looking south there from I-40. But maybe we can see some of those rain sheets moving in. You can kind of see it there on the bottom of the shot. Don't you hate driving in this stuff? You can go that fast. Looks like it's starting to track towards the east now. Some of the heavy stuff is probably closer to coming up on Alma. There's exit 7. You can't see anything. You can see truck lights. They've got the flashers on, and it looks like there's a strobe light going off in the background, which really slowed down traffic on the interstate, hasn't it? So there it is. It looks like there's another line behind it. This one was warned. The warning fell off. There's a weak front moving through is what's causing all this. You're gonna hear some thunder too out around northwest Arkansas. It looks like the power may have just went out too on the other camera. Yeah, I saw a big flash and then it went out. So that camera went out there near Van Buren on Highway 64. It was the exit 7 cam there. So let's see, it looks like the heaviest part of that storm's coming down. Let's change another iDrive camera. Wind's the main risk with this. Haven't seen any rotation, thank goodness. I'd say wind probably followed by lightning is a close second though. Good grief. The Arkansas way station looking westbound on I-40. Some folks pulled over. Like, I'm not driving in this. Storm's coming right over this though, so it should be those wind speeds will really start picking up here soon. Back over to the radar source here. I'm gonna zoom out for you real quick. So even though there's some of these other storms are not warned that are back to the west at around Stigler, they're still going to be loud. So you're probably going to hear a little bit more in Poto this evening. You're going to get more coming into Mulberry, Charleston, Ozark. There's not a lot going on right now in Rogers and Elm Springs and Fayetteville. But this was the big storm that it probably was most concerning. And the strongest part of that is just south of Alma, between Alma, Van Buren, and Fort Smith. But the wind speeds have come down compared to earlier. If I'll back up, I'll show you guys what I mean. See the dark blues? Well, that thing had a lot of wind. There's probably some wind damage out around Roland and Muldrow. And then it kind of gusted out and dumped all its wind out. So it went from that dark blue to more of a lighter green color. And even the lighter green color is still something awful in terms of wind. I mean, it's still going and lightning and all the rest that's out there. So another big picture view here of what's going on. We've got a cluster of showers and storms. They formed on the front. They're moving from west to east. They're slow movers. Probably it will fill in Bentonville and Rogers with lightning and thunder. This is going to grow upscale, the one that you're seeing near McAllister, and it's possible we could get another warning or two later on this evening. This one looked fairly strong though, so I did want to jump on, just kind of let you know what was going on with that. If I look back down to the southwest, um, there's some wind with it, but I don't see anything that's concerning as far as anything rotating. I also don't see anything rotating here. Let's see here. So this is interesting here. So maybe it's easier to illustrate here. Let's go to this one. It's early, guys. See the red and the blue here. So the red is moving away from the radar, right? And then green is moving towards the radar. It's kind of it's like a microburst signature to me, with wind hitting right here, coming down. So that would put this potentially some wind damage out there around Shibley. Trying to get some cities, streets to populate. Oh, this is Pleasant Valley Road. I know where that is. Old school bus used to run down there. There's Kibler Road, um, Ashley Road, Sunnyside Road, Hilltop Drive, Star Gregg Drive. And then where Sunnyside Road meets up with Old Concord Road there, just south of 64. So probably some gusty winds there. Also on the west side of this, near Kibler Road and the cross street of Pleasant Valley. So Kibler and Pleasant Valley, kind of just east of where the ball fields are. Yeah, some pretty strong winds there. Looks like to me. There's another wide view of it. So this whole front's going to be tracking in from west to east through the overnight hours. Well, a couple of warnings are possible. We could see another one pulse up. Get that little bow segment that's out there. That'll be interesting to watch. It could flare up with some wind around Poto, and these showers and storms may even fester into the first part of the day. And it won't be the last we see of storms. Unfortunately, I think more storms are going to be in the works for us here for the next week or so. Lots of lightning and thunder. No rotation with this as it stands now. The risk of severe weather and tornadoes is actually fairly low. The atmosphere is still unstable, though. Obviously, that's why we're getting all these storms that are out there. But the storms that are in the Fort Smith area are going to weaken, and thankfully, you're going to have a little bit of a calmer overnight as they start to move in. But I do think that it's going to be a stormy couple of days here for the next week or so. Anyway, 225, May 3rd. I'll see you guys back here later.